Alright guys, Master of Command is finally here, and after weeks of marching through mud, rationing supplies, and defeating army after army in grand battles, I can say this: it's one of the most deliberate and grounded strategy experiences of the decade. The full release sharpens everything: the visuals, sound, balance, gameplay, makes it all more cohesive and punishing and fun. So whether you're returning from the demo or stepping into the field for the first time, this video is my full release review and guide to everything you need to know in Master of Command. Set during the 7 Years' War, Master of Command places you in the boots of a field commander rather than the throne of an empire. It takes away the usual grand campaign painting of most strategy titles and replaces it with something smaller, tighter, a lot more challenging, and a lot more personal. And the game can essentially be played in 3 distinct layers: the campaign map, army management, and the battles themselves, each one feeding into the next. On the campaign layer, you lead a single army through a procedurally generated region filled with villages, convoys, ambushes, and forts. It's all filled with dynamic events and choices, and of course enemy AI armies scouting out and looking for you. Your aim is to reach the main encampment, the HQ of the enemy, which when you destroy, you take the region and gain its rewards. Each act is self-contained but really unpredictable, defined by scarcity of resources and AI momentum, and there's no empire to fall back on, no endless reserves and reinforcements. It's just you and your men. And then you have army management. This is where you bridge the gap between campaign and combat with deep customization. Here you maintain morale, manage equipment and inventory, essentially keep the machine running. And you also customize basically everything you can see: banner, flag, uniform, equipment, everything. You can change regiment names, change flag colors to different shapes and sizes, make them totally historical if you like, and a lot more. It's the kind of army management that I wish other strategy games would benefit from. And finally, of course, there are the signature battles of this game: slow, grounded, tactical, fought in real time across detailed 18th century fields. Terrain, fatigue, morale, lots of mechanics shape every encounter. It's not about speed or spectacle, it's about control, timing, and endurance. If you get caught by an AI army on the campaign, which does happen quite a bit, you'll fight on these grand battles that can get up to thousands of men with super heated engagements. In terms of playable factions and armies and unit rosters and generals, you've got Prussia, France, Britain, Austria, and Russia. Each of them come with great historically accurate rosters and doctrines. You get a choice of starting units, generals, equipment, and each present a really cool, unique playstyle for you. So all of them are very, very different, and if you can survive long enough, they all kind of dynamically evolve into new ways of playing as these generals and units as well. And of course, once you've chosen your faction and your general and your units, you find yourself on the campaign deciding where to invade, which province to go into, what kind of objective you want to go for. This is where the game really comes to life. Each act begins with a single objective: locate and destroy the enemy HQ, and this is a totally procedurally generated map, so everything here is going to be different every time you move into a new region. Between you and the enemy HQ lies a series of choices: to fight, to rest, to forage, or push forward. Every action drains food, stamina, morale. Overextending your men will starve before the next battle even begins, which is a very difficult balance to strike. You essentially have to juggle between efficient strategic movement along this terrain and visiting villages and the choices that you make, with engaging the enemy, keeping all your men happy at the same time. It's very, very challenging. Movement happens in real time, but pacing is very deliberate, so you can pause to issue orders or scout ahead, and the AI reacts extremely dynamically. It's not a very passive AI. It doesn't sit idle. It reinforces, it flanks, it recruits, and chases you. If you linger too long, it will find you. And essentially, the campaign's design is to keep you constantly uncomfortable. Villages can be raided for supplies, but that breeds resentment against you. Trading fairly maintains a reputation, but costs time and money. There's no perfect choice, essentially, just a series of small choices and compromises that determine whether your army makes it to the next battle or not. Personally, I would say logistics is the true enemy of Master of Command. Food, ammo, and morale intertwine in ways few strategy games really attempt. March too long without rest, and even a victorious army can crumble from exhaustion. And I love that. This constant tension gives every campaign a sense of continuity and consequence, like you're dragging the same weary core from one battlefield to the next. And honestly, it's incredibly historically accurate, which is exactly the kind of thing the lead developer, Armchair Historian, would emphasize in his own game. Now, between all the campaigning, of course, the focus shifts from tactics to preservation. Your army isn't just a roster of men and units, and you don't have to worry about them, right? It is a living organism that carries its history forward. Regiments remember their battles, gain experience, suffer losses that never magically refill. Watching a veteran grenadier company dwindle across multiple acts hurts in a way numbers can't capture. Officers add personality and structure. Their traits shape morale, aggression, discipline, equipment use, giving every regiment a unique feel. Equipment plays a major role here too. Muskets, bayonets, uniforms, and rations all affect how a unit fights and survives. Even minor upgrades here change performance, but resources are so scarce, so every decision you make in this panel matters so much. And of course, we have to talk about customization, which is incredible now. You can color each uniform piece and flag. You can even save regimental presets to use in future campaigns, which is something I never thought possible, and it's honestly such a cool feature in this game. It may seem subtle and actually quite minor compared to everything else you can do here, but it gives the game a tangible identity. Your army feels yours, not a template, not something other players can play. There's no sprawling tech tree, but there is unit progression in a way that is really fun. So seeing your lowest tier units over time become elite infantry or cavalry is just such a surreal and personal experience. Loot and captured gear you gain in battle all feed back into your army's development as well. There's a huge inventory screen that fills up a lot faster than you would think, and the more you fight, the more distinct your force, your army becomes, a clear and lasting reflection of your playstyle. And then there are the battles. Now, you can make a lot of comparisons to Total War here. The UI is kind of similar in certain areas. You are essentially mechanically doing a lot of the same things, but Master of Command is much slower, heavier, and a lot more tense as well. Each battle feels like a continuation of your campaign, fought with whatever's left of your army. You command only a handful of regiments at the start of your campaign, but that scale can grow quite a bit as you progress. Every musket volley, every retreat, every flank has huge consequence that follows you along that campaign from one battle to the next. And there are loads of mechanics to talk about here as well. I mean, terrain is actually useful here, so hills offer firing advantages, but they exhaust your men a lot to get up there. Forests conceal troops, but slow them down quite a bit. Mud and snow drain stamina and morale long before contact, and all the maps are handcrafted and huge, with redesigned layouts that encourage maneuver and punish camping. Morale and stamina are the twin pillars of combat here, of course. Exhausted units reload slower, aim worse, and break faster. You can't simply grind the enemy down, you have to outlast them. Cavalry flanking, artillery fire, and well-timed charges can turn the tide, but so can panic. And the sound design brings it all together, of course. Musket fire cracking through valleys, drums rallying men under pressure, and the new Fire and Fury theme song rising in the background. It all feels really cinematic without losing authenticity. Essentially, battles at the start of your campaign are smaller, and you do take a while to recruit and gain a big enough army to really rival a game like Total War, but they can carry a kind of intimacy those games rarely reach. You know these soldiers, you know their banners, their flags, you've kept them alive for days, weeks, months. Losing them isn't just a setback, it's really deeply personal. You remember the people you've taken care of, the names you've given them, the banners you've customized. It is a brilliantly designed system that I keep coming back to. It's honestly really addicting. And the battle gameplay itself, I would say, is really fun and enjoyable as well. The AI is reactive. It is quite challenging, especially when you think about all the kind of terrain features, the different types of armies you can come up to, and what you can recruit, what equipment you can kind of customize as well. There's so much to think about here. It's honestly sometimes a little overwhelming, but generally incredibly fun. Now, the full release of Master of Command transforms what was essentially a demo just a week ago into a complete strategy experience. Visually, every faction now has distinct colors, emblems, and regimental art. Armies can be customized in greater detail, flags look properly historical, and all UI elements from unit previews to army screens have been redesigned for clarity. Performance and optimization are a lot stronger as well, which is what you'd expect between, the last few bits of development kind of efforts from the team. So memory leaks, frame dips, slow transitions between campaign and battles are largely gone. Maps load faster, everything feels smoother and more responsive. Campaign systems have been rebalanced across the board as well, so the HQ now starts at full strength right now, which is quite interesting and challenging. That also grows over time. Enemy armies behave more aggressively, and difficulty settings scale properly now as well. Also, Acts 2 and 3 come with unique art and nation-specific uniforms, which is quite cool, adding variety without breaking immersion. Everything from doctrines to items and encounters on the campaign have been reworked as well, so Hanover's casualty recovery focus, Russia's artillery improvements, and France's new recruitment balance all make each nation feel more distinct. The AI is sharper, flanking more effectively, using artillery a bit more efficiently as well, and artillery itself has been overhauled completely as well. Accuracy now scales realistically, howitzers and field guns feel very distinct, and maps have been expanded by roughly a third to create a lot more space for you to maneuver your armies. And honestly, there is so much more than this as well. I'm only scratching the surface of the long list of changes across every part of the game. The devs have honestly done an amazing job of polishing and refining the game to a release-ready state that they should be proud of. Of course, I'm sure there are more improvements to be made, but for now, I'm really genuinely impressed. So overall, Master of Command is the kind of strategy game I've wanted for years, focused, historical, and unapologetically serious about the art of war. It's not massive in scope, but it doesn't need to be. Its strength lies in this gameplay loop. March, fight, survive, rebuild, and repeat. The rhythm creates an endless, rewarding cycle of tension and triumph. The campaign layer feels really alive, the army management layer meaningful, and the battles are some of the best I've played in the genre. Essentially, for me, what it does so well is capture the era of gunpowder warfare in strategy gaming and make it so fascinating. The discipline, the exhaustion, the fleeting moments of glory that hold an army together. For players who love the age of gunpowder, who want historical depth without endless micromanagement, this is one of the most promising strategy experiences in years. Either way, this has been my review of Master of Command and essentially everything you need to know if you're thinking about buying it. I think it's quite reasonably priced for what you're getting. There is an endless amount of gameplay here that is replayable. There is so much variety in gameplay mechanics and challenge and what you can get yourself into, and I think as a strategy player and as someone who really enjoys the age of gunpowder, there is a lot of promise here. Let me know what you think of the game in the comment section below, whether you're going to be picking it up or not. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos about Master of Command or other general strategy game reviews, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.